Okay, this is for coconut curls. Now, in the first step, I had all the ingredients out. In the second step, I showed you how I cut them up, and I separated the whites from the eggs. Now I'm showing you that I have them all stirred up, and I have my pan sprayed with nonstick spray. I'm going to light it up, let it get a little hot. I cook on a high, like a medium to high heat. Alright. Now, here's the key. Ready? You're going to pour it in. And then, I'm not using spinach in this one. I'm using broccoli, so it's a little more of the spreading it out. The spinach kind of spreads itself out. Come on. Get it all spread out. She said she can't make her omelets look like mine, so I'm going to show her how. Got it all spread out pretty evenly. And then you cover it. Covering it is the key, girlfriend. Because it's covered, you're cooking the bottom and the top at the same time. So I just check it, see how it's coming. Don't be afraid that's going to be a little brown. It's not burning. Brown does not mean burnt. And that's not because I'm Southern, so I like blackened everything. That's just the reality. Okay. Once it's cooking on this side too, see how it's brown around the edges, and it's cooking on this side too. I've never tried to do this with one hand in a camera, so it'll lift up all together. See that? Because it's all cooked. Bam. There you go. Now, we're going to take the cheese and lay it on one side. This keeps it from like being too much all in one place. Alright. Now, also, because you cooked both sides at once with the lid, you don't have to let this go forever. It is cooked. So you just, see, this is the part I've never, like, try to keep it still. One-handed camera flip. What? Bada bang. And there you go. You have yourself an omelet. Okay, so let's talk real quick about that omelet. The key, it's 2 eggs. If you're totally starving and you really have to have 3, fine. But the less egg you have, the less of a mess you can make with it. So if you're trying to flip it, it's really a lot easier to have a good sized pan, like an 8-inch pan, and only 2 egg whites. Or, you know, a whole egg and an egg white, or whatever you're going to do. But the less egg you have, the less mess you can make. Big deal. Also, it's what you stuff in it. Like I said, put the cheese on one side so it's not all in one place. Anything. If you're putting, I usually put salsa, cheese, you can put meat, you can put spinach on the inside. Whatever you're stuffing, you want it more on one side so that when you fold over the side without all the stuffing, instead of, like, if this is how it is and you put it all over, when you fold it over, in the middle it gets way too big and it gets sloppy. But if you only put it on one side, like this side, and you just close it, bada bing, there you go. And that's how to play with an omelet. So, I think, I don't know if it was coconut curls, there has been a couple of people have said stuff about my omelets, but somebody in particular has mentioned it twice. They were trying to do it. I know it was coconut curls this time. I think she might have mentioned it once before, so that's why I did this. So there you go. On to something crazy, like really crazy. Alright, I don't even know how to like start talking about it. So, as you guys know, I've missed Weight Watchers 2 weeks in a row. Not a big deal. I'm going Saturday no matter what. I haven't been feeling great. I haven't been to Zumba since Saturday. And you know I'm not feeling good if I miss Zumba, because that's my heart and soul right there. I have worked out. I plan on continuing to move my body, but not feeling great. It's okay. I think that something unexpected happened. I have my scale in the kitchen right across from my refrigerator. I've said that 1,000 times. I think it's a great place to go, like, for a scale, because well, first of all, your scale is more of your friend if you leave it set up and leave it alone. If you're constantly, like, if it stands up between your counter and your wall, or your cabinet and your wall, and you put it down, stand on it, and put it back up, it kind of screws your numbers up. So it likes to be settled. But another reason is, it's like, to walk through my house from that way into my kitchen, I have to pass my scale up. To get to the cabinet where all the snacks are, I have to pass my scale up. To get to my refrigerator, I have to pass my scale up. To eat anything, I have to pass my scale up. And it wasn't set up that way intentionally, but I think subconsciously it became a constant reminder that I am on a mission to lose 100 pounds. Well, you know, we all know how that went. Woohoo! Anyway, but I get on the scale every day, every morning. And I've talked about this before, because some people have a real issue with this. Some people, this bothers and does worse. And I'm not going to lie to you. There have been weeks where I've been higher, 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 and then come back down, and it's been kind of like, what the fuck? And then, what the F? There have been weeks when I've gone lower, 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 and then back up when I go to weigh in. It's crazy. When you get on the scale daily, you have to let the number go. You cannot let it affect you overall, because then you should stay off of it. I get on the scale, and it does not bother me. It does not bother my mood. It used to. It doesn't anymore. So it's just something I do. It's like a daily reminder, like, ooh, watch that number, you know? I think that, though, not going to Weight Watchers for 2 weeks was really very healthy at this point in my journey, because I have to start letting that go. I have not Weight Watchers, not the scale, not my weight, but letting go of the obsession. I was a food addict. I am a food addict. The number one way to change your addiction, to get over an addiction, is to replace it with something else. That's just what happens. That's what people do. Now, a lot of programs for recovery of alcoholism and drugs are based on religion. And in that case, many people substitute religion for the drug. They substitute exercise for addictions. I very much so did that. I was obsessed with food, and I stayed obsessed with food. I just re-geared myself into a healthier way. But then a couple of months ago, a couple of months ago, it was like, now I am thinner, and this obsession with continuing to become thin is not healthy. And this obsession with less is not healthy. So I had to really kind of redefine what I was doing, and it threw me for a little bit of a tailspin. And I think taking the inadvertent break from Weight Watchers really helped, because this morning I got up, I got dressed. We did school, because we do school at home. So we did school, we did some other things, and then I went over to my art cabinet, which is also in the kitchen. And when I walked up to it, I stepped on the scale to reach something, and I realized when I looked down, it said, 141.6, I think is what it said. And I was like, that's with jeans and shoes and clothes and everything else. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder what I'd weigh if I didn't have everything on. And then I was like, I don't know. I didn't weigh myself today. And I didn't weigh myself because I don't want to know. I didn't weigh myself because I know it's going to be bad. I didn't weigh myself because I already ate something. Like, I honestly forgot to get on the scale. And that is amazing. I feel like it's been rough and weird and strange, but I think that I am starting to let go of the obsession and starting to move towards a normal life at a good weight. And I think that I can keep this up. And that's so exciting and so good for me right now. And I'm just really, I don't know. It feels a lot like I can remember the first time I needed to get gas at a nearby town. I was on my way to my mom's, and I stopped at this gas station that has a McDonald's attached. And that was one of my places to go get food, like, and to binge. So I avoid those places. The ones where I like used to go and binge, I avoid them. I just needed gas, so I stopped there and I got gas and I left. And as I was pulling away in the rearview mirror, I caught a sight of the McDonald's sign, and I was like, OMFG. I just pulled into and out of that gas station and did not think about the fact that it had a McDonald's attached to it at all. That is phenomenal, right? I feel like that is equivalent to what happened today. When I realized that I did not start my day on the scale and that I wasn't upset by it, I didn't panic, I didn't go, okay, well, let me take my clothes off right now and see what I weigh. It was amazing, and I am excited. Yeah.